Hi, everybody. I'm here with Doug Gillard after having been outside and had a little sip of beer, but I'm only had a sip. And we are talking about home mortgages from Prime Lending. Thanks for joining us today.
Yes.
Well, thank you for having me. Yes, I'm excited to share some knowledge.
Yeah, well, we all need some knowledge because it's really confusing, especially for first-time homebuyers. So one of the first things I'm going to ask is how much money down do you need to be able to buy a home? Do you need 20%?
Well, that's a great question. And to be honest, you don't need 20%. And in fact, first-time homebuyers, let me explain this to everybody out there. A first-time homebuyer is you haven't owned a home in 3 years, and it doesn't matter if it hasn't been 3 years, you're a first-time homebuyer. A first-time homebuyer, you can actually get 100% financing. You can get a first with down payment assistance. Basically, you're going to have maybe $1,000 into the deal. And with that being said, there are some requirements, credit score and some other things.
Right, but it's interesting that you don't need that 20%.
You don't. And there's some, Vivian, there's some government loans, VA and USDA rural development's 100% financing.
Wonderful. We were just talking earlier that someone here as a first-time homeowner didn't have to put anything down, which is pretty nice. So what about pre-qualified versus pre-approved? Those are two terms that seem the same, but they're really not.
So that's a great question. Pre-qualification, somebody comes to me and they might say, hey, Doug, you know what? I'm sick of renting. I want to buy a home. And I'll say, great. Send me in a W-2, a pay stub, a bank statement. Let me pull your credit. When I do that, I look at it and I go, wow, yeah, this looks good. You can buy a house. Now, that's pre-qualification, not as strong as a pre-approval. A pre-approval goes like this. It says, hey, we're going to send you to underwriting. We're going to verify your income with the federal government, see if your tax transcripts match with what you sent me, and we're going to call your employer. And once we verify that, now you're pre-approved. All we need is a house.
All we need is the house. Okay.
All we need is a house.
Okay.
Yeah.
Just that little part.
Yeah.
Okay, let's talk about interest rates.
Yes.
What do you think's going to be happening with the interest rates?
Oh boy, that's a tough one. You know, we're all wondering about that. We believe, and I'm talking about me when I look in my crystal ball, that we believe that we're going to see this inflation thing kind of come down. When that happens, we're going to see interest rates come down as well. My prediction for the end of the year, I think we're going to be somewhere in the low sixes, maybe 6 1/4, maybe even 5,
Well,
5 3/4.
Interesting. So then it'll be more of a buyer's market?
Well, we still got an inventory problem.
Right, right. Which we're going to have to.
We got to talk
you
about
back
that.
because
Yeah,
you're running out of time.
We're going to need to talk about that.
Totally. Yeah, that's a big one
That
on a
is.
variety of levels.
Yes.
Yeah, but thank you so much
Oh.
for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
You're
It's been
welcome.
great. Thank
You're
you.
welcome. And stay with us. There's a lot more coming.